to our class for today. So today we are going to talk about licensing, franchising, and also other contractual strategies. So can you now write any of the licensing or franchising uh, chains or brands that you know around you? Can you please put it in the chat? Any businesses that run on license, on franchise. Franchising would be more easier. Well, franchising is one of the way of licensing actually. Maybe you can put any brands that you know on franchise or on license. Okay, meanwhile, okay, I'm going to explain what we are going to learn today. So we are going to go into the varieties of contractual entry strategies. Okay, there are many ways of doing business, and especially if you want to go international, uh, most of the time you will have to do businesses based on contracts. Okay, because you might need to appoint somebody to become your agent, or you might need to appoint somebody to become your uh, you know, what do they call that? To liaise with you, okay, so that they can market the products on behalf of you, okay. So these are the things that we are going to learn today, okay. And we are going to learn about licensing as an entry strategy, okay, and what are the advantages and also disadvantages of licensing. Okay, and then franchising as well. Okay, why franchising? Is it good? Is it a good strategy, or is it a bad strategy? Okay, so we are going to learn about that as well. Okay, and also other contractual entry strategies. Okay, and at the end of the day, okay, when we use these kind of strategies, licensing, franchising, and so forth, and other contractual strategies, one of the problems that might occur is the infringement of intellectual property. Okay, so how are we going to counter that? Okay, how are we going to avoid that kind of problem if we do our businesses based on these strategies? Okay, now first of all, we need to understand the foundations. Contractual entry strategies in international business, it's when you do cross-border exchanges. Okay, you will need to relate to make a relationship with a partner, okay, with a foreign partner. And when it is a foreign partner, it must be governed by a clear contract, explicit contract, okay, which means that you need to explain what you will give them, what they are going to do for you, okay, and what are the terms that you say these are the don'ts, okay, what are the do and also the don'ts. All of that must be included in an explicit contract. Okay, and intellectual property means it is the ideas or works created by firms or individuals, and it can be in the form of patents, it can be a form of trademarks, copyrights, because you are dealing with a foreign firm. Okay, so there will always be a risk that your work, your hard work, will be copied by another party. Okay, so you must protect that using intellectual property. Okay, now the terms in contracts, okay, contractual relationship. Number one, licensing. Okay, so what is the meaning of licensing? It is an arrangement in which the owner of intellectual property grants another firm the right to use that property for a specified period of time in exchange for royalties or other compensation. Okay, so you are lending, okay, you are giving permission for another party, okay, to produce for you. Okay, uh, and in the contract there's a specific time period, okay, and that firm, okay, the other firm must pay you for whatever that you have disclosed, okay, in terms of royalties or other compensation. And then number two, franchising. Okay, franchising is an arrangement in which the firm allows another the right to use, okay, uh, an entire business system in exchange for fees, royalties, or other compensation. So this means that everything, everything that the focal company, the mother company does, HQ does, the other uh, the other company, okay, either it's foreign or non-foreign, it can also be another local company as well, does exactly 100%. So if you see company A, the business model is like this. So company B, which has a franchising relationship with company A, will also be the same thing. Okay, you will never know which one is A and which one is B. Okay. Okay, now number three is royalty. Okay, royalty, a fee paid periodically, okay, to compensate a licensor for the temporary use of its intellectual property. Okay, so when you lend somebody to work on something based on your ideas or based on your products, okay, that has been protected by intellectual property, then that the other party will have to pay you. It's like leasing, not leasing, it's like renting, okay, renting your ideas, okay, so they have to pay royalty for you. Okay, so these are some examples of contractual relationships. Japanese company Sanrio has licensed Hello Kitty, okay, to many manufacturers of cosmetics, food, calendars, toys, clothing, and numerous other products. So you can see now, as a result, you can see Hello Kitty all over the world. Okay, everybody gets to know uh, what is Hello Kitty, how does Hello Kitty looks like, okay, because it appears in so many things, okay. And because of this licensing, okay, licensing relationship, the company Sanrio, okay, their earnings, okay, is from the royalties they get from other manufacturers that use, okay, Hello Kitty as the brand for their product, okay. CBS, okay, CBS is a television company, signed a licensing deal with PPTV, China's leading video streaming service, to give streaming rights for CBS and Showtime programming in China. Okay, so without this licensing deal, CBS will not be able to enter China market. Okay, so this is one of the way of CBS to get um, hold of China market, which is very much protected. Okay, Pfizer US and Novartis Switzerland periodically license pharmaceutical inventions to each other. Okay, so because pharmaceutical products, medicines, it is not something that is easy um, to be invented. Okay, so and the the needs for pharmaceutical products is so high around the world, so they will have to cope with that needs. Okay, and one of the way is by sharing or licensing their innovations to each other. 7-Eleven has some 67,000 stores in 17 countries. While the parent firm in Japan owns most of the stores, many stores in Canada, Mexico, Asia, and Europe operate via licensing or franchising agreements. Okay, this is something that is quite funny. 7-Eleven I thought was a US company. Okay, I really thought it was a US company. Is the companies, the 7-Eleven that I saw in Japan was the franchisee, not the franchisor. Okay, so the HQ, the headquarters, the original company, is what we call as a franchisor. Okay, the company uh, that buy the license, okay, from the headquarters is called the franchisee. Okay, so I thought the ones in Japan was actually the franchisee. Okay, because in Japan there are a lot of other convenience stores like Lawson, Family Mart, and others. Okay, Nico Mart. So I thought 7-Eleven was really not Japanese based. But there was one day when I saw a documentary about 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven was actually founded in the US. Okay, and it had a franchisee uh, in Japan. Okay, but the business in Japan was so successful, okay, that one company in Japan bought the parent company. So so in the end, it has become a Japanese company, not a US company anymore. Okay, so that's quite interesting, an interesting documentary. Okay, what are the unique aspects of contractual relationships? Okay, so uh, there must be a contract. Okay, the basic is there must be a contract to moderate the level of control between the focal firm, the headquarters, and also the foreign partner. Okay, and what are included? What does it mean by control? Okay, one of the meaning of the control is how to make decision, who will make the decision, okay, who will do the operations, okay, who will do the how to get the resources, okay. So those are the things that is being included in the contract. Okay, and usually it involves intangibles like intellectual property and also services. Okay, so the technical assistance, the brand, the logo, which is the trademarks, the know-how, okay, is usually being included. That kind of exchange is being included in the contract. It can be pursued independently or with other foreign market entry strategies such as FDI and exporting. So let's look further. Okay, now this is a typical type of intellectual property. I think we have gone through this during our last class. um, what is patent, what is trademark, and what is copyright. And each of these types of intellectual property, they have their own characteristics. Okay, a patent is usually an invention. Okay, a novel invention. It is new. It not necessarily must be 100% new. It can be an improvement of something from something, but it's a novel. Okay, novel invention. Okay, so uh, if you own a patent, you can prevent other people from copying the idea, okay, for a fixed time period. Okay, so the second one, the trademark, is actually a design, okay, a distinctive design or symbol that identifies a product or services. Like for example, if you look at here, okay, uh, what would you think? What will come to your mind?
McDonald.
Yes, it looks like a McDonald's logo, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, this is one of the way that McDonald's might be coming in and say you cannot do like this because people will think that because McDonald's already have its own establishments and also brand. So if this new Wonder Burger come up with a logo exactly, not exactly like McDonald's, but when people see it, they will think about McDonald's and think that Wonder Burger is as good as McDonald's. So McDonald's, it will create more competition to McDonald's. Okay, so this is how you protect your brand, okay, your logo, from being copied, okay, by other entities. Okay, and then a copyright protects original works of authorship. Okay, these include songs, movies, literature, paintings, even software. Okay, and all of these, they have a fixed period of time. Okay, 20 years, 50 years, and from time to time, if you own this intellectual property, you will have to pay some maintenance fee. Okay, so for some people who say, okay, I don't want to maintain this intellectual property anymore, maybe another strategy is for you to sell. Just sell your intellectual property to somebody else. Okay, somebody else who might need it. So it can be your source of income as well, your asset. Okay, if you have an intellectual property. Last week I read uh, an article, okay, a news about Shakira. Do you know Shakira, the singer? Uh, she is a Latino. Okay, so she's a famous singer. So she is also a music producer. She also writes songs for herself and also for others. And the article said that Shakira is selling her rights of the songs that she made, and which was very very popular, the Waka Waka song and some others. And how what was the deal was that the contract is that she will sell the rights to the song, which means that she will not be owning the any rights to the song anymore. But the price of the song that she sell is equal to the royalty that she gets for 25 years, which I think is quite a good deal for her, because if we are a singer or a music producer, we never know if the song will be played in the future, whether people in the future will like our song and still listen to it. Okay, so otherwise, if the song is so popular and it has intellectual property preventing it, the radio station will have to pay the royalty. Anybody who plays that song, okay, commercially will have to pay for the royalty. But Shakira thinks that she doesn't she's not sure if in the future people will still listen to her song. So she has already got that income, okay, for the next 25, which is equal to what she gets in the next 25 years. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that if you have an intellectual property, it is a good way, to have it as an asset. Okay, all right. Okay, so intellectual property rights, the legal claim through which the proprietary assets of firms and individuals are protected from unauthorized use by other parties. So this is the thing that when you want to go internationally, your business, you need to really take care of. Okay, because you will never know what other people might do to your intellectual property. And you also need to be careful that each country or each region will have a different law of intellectual relating to intellectual property. Okay, so although there are a standard law, okay, around the world, you can search this in WIPO, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. But there are also certain laws that is specific to that country. So let's say if you want to sell your product in the US, you need to study what is the IP rights law in the US. Okay, because if anything happens, you want to bring it up in the court in the US, so you will have to use the US law. Okay, so if you don't study about the US law, you might lose your intellectual property, okay, if it doesn't go right. Okay, all right, now, okay, let's go to licensing. Okay, so in detail, licensing, okay, for example, Intel licensed the right to a new process for manufacturing computer chips to a firm in Germany. So usually when this is like uh, you the owner, okay, the owner of the process, okay, you are like, you want to have a vendor, okay, you want to have a supplier, you want to outsource. Okay, remember the word outsource we used last week. You want to outsource the process to a supplier or to a vendor. Okay, and in this case, it's a computer chips manufacturer in Germany. Okay, so that process, the automation or the standard operating procedure of the process, you will need to share it with that company. Okay, so there must be a contract. uh, Warner licenses images from the Harry Potter books and movies to companies worldwide. Okay, so Warner is making money through that lah, because um, other publishing companies that wants to reprint, okay, Harry Potter books and movies will have to pay to Warner. Disney licenses the right to use its cartoon characters in producing shirts and hats to clothing manufacturers in Asia. Okay, so same case. Okay, so what occurs when we do licensing? Okay, so usually, okay, in licensing, so there's the company that gives license, okay, to another party is what we call as the licensor. Okay, the company that received the license, okay, is what we call the licensee. Okay, so usually the licensee pays the licensor, okay, a fixed amount of upfront and an ongoing royalty, usually between 2 to 5% on gross sales generated from using the license asset. Okay, so that royalty. Okay, the fixed amount covers the licensor's initial costs of transferring a license asset to the licensee, including training, engineering, or adaptation. Okay, so that first fixed amount. Okay, so fixed amount plus royalty. Okay, fixed amount comes first. Okay, and then they do everything. They they do the knowledge transfer. They do maybe some setting up of the process, how to adapt to the new process. That one is being, that cost is being covered by that upfront fixed amount that's being paid by the licensee. Okay, and then they run the process, they do the manufacturing. Okay, the licensee does the manufacturing and all that, and then they get sales. Okay, so the profit of 2 to 5% from that sales is given to the licensor as royalty. Okay. Certain types of licensable assets, such as copyrights and trademarks, have much lower transfer costs. Okay, so because it's like that, it's a song. Okay, so you don't need to set up anything. Okay, so that's why the amount upfront would be much lower. Okay. So licensing has been one of the foreign market entry strategies. Okay. Uh, so what you need to do, okay, as a licensor, okay, what do you provide? You will provide the intellectual property to your licensee, and you will also provide supporting products. Okay, the parts, the components, the raw materials. Okay, you will give to licensee. What licensee give to the licensor? They will give lump sum payment. Okay, they will give down payment plus royalty. Okay, and then the products. Okay, know-how. Okay, and also cross licensing. Okay, these are the things that the licensee will give to the licensor. Licensee will also be responsible of the local sales and also exports from that particular point. Okay, so international licensing is common. Okay, planters, Sunkist, okay, they are owned by US firms. Okay, and these, planters and Sunkist, the Sunkist orange, Sunkist juice, and so forth. Okay, they are being sold in Britain and they are also being sold in Japan by licensing agreements. Okay, so they have one company. Okay, each in Britain and also in Japan to manage all the sales and also the marketing. Coca-Cola has a licensing agreement to distribute Evian bottled water in the US on behalf of the brand's owner, French company Danone. Okay. Budweiser, okay, is brewed in Japan by Kirin under license from Anheuser-Busch. Okay. A review of 120 of the largest multinational food companies revealed that at least half are involved in some form of international product licensing. Okay, so why licensing is quite common is that you want to go to, especially to many places, okay, around the world. So you need agents. It's like when you have a business, you engage with your agents. So these companies in those different countries, they are being your agent, okay, and but you need to engage them under contract, and you need to give them license, okay, because otherwise it has the potential to be manipulated. Okay, so licensing is a good way to protect your product as well, and to make the sale advance, okay, in another country. Okay, so apart from product licensing, there is also trademark licensing. Okay, so trademark licensing will involve a firm granting another firm permission to use its proprietary names, characters, logos, okay, for a specified period of time in exchange for royalty. Okay, so usually it appears on clothing, food, toys, home furnishings, like Coke, okay, Harley Davidson, Laura Ashley, Disney, Michael Jordan, and also your university. Okay, sometimes Stanford, UKM, for example. Okay, if people see the UKM logo, so they know, okay, it is a trademark if it is being protected. I'm not sure if the logo of UKM is being protected or not. Okay, but if it is, usually the good universities, they do protect their logo, okay, so that it will not be misused. Okay, so those kind of things. A trademark like Harry Potter generates millions of dollars for the owner with little effort. US firms derive trademark licensing revenues exceeding 100 billion annually. So this is also a kind of a good asset, a good asset, and also a good business for you. Okay, so but usually people, you will have to work very very hard first, okay, to secure a good product or a good process or a good brand, to build your own brand. Then only you can, pass it up in a way of licensing, okay? And it can become a passive income as well. Okay, this is Disney. So that's why no, Tokyo Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, uh, Disneyland is in Shanghai, right? If I'm not mistaken, in China.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a Hong Kong Disneyland, Paris Disneyland. Okay, those are some of the examples of licensing. Okay, so copyright licensing, as I've mentioned before, it has a 50 years uh, of cycle. Okay, cycle time. Okay. Uh, this is usually a very sensitive issue as well, because a lot of infringement is being done on you know on uh, products like intangible products like art or music, literature or software. Okay, um, because it is expensive, okay, to buy. So usually people will just buy the copied ones. Okay, so which is against the copyright law. Okay, know-how licensing. Okay, this is also a kind of um, you know intellectual property. Okay, uh, it can be in terms of patent. It can be in terms of trade secrets. Okay, patents you have to register, but trade secrets you don't have to register. Okay, you don't have to register with the intellectual property office in your country, or wherever. Okay, but you might, if there's any problem happens, meaning to say that there's another company that copied your trade secret, okay, and make it their own product, so you can bring them to the court, but you must show that you have shown some evidence that you have tried to protect your trade secret. Okay, so for example, I have a recipe of I do a very very delicious nasi lemak. Okay, nasi lemak recipe. Okay, and it is so unique and so delicious that everybody likes it. Okay. But then one of my workers, okay, who knows how to do the nasi lemak my way, okay, he spin off, make another company, and he does a nasi lemak exactly like my nasi lemak recipe. Okay, so if I want to bring him to court, I need to show, for example, um, I have there is a a written contract, okay, to all the workers that uh, they must know that they must not disclose the recipe to others, or they must not they must keep the recipe. They cannot use the same recipe uh, for commercial use, for example. So that is one way of how I have tried to secure, okay, my trade secret. Coca-Cola, for example, until now there's no company that are able to do the same drink like Coca-Cola, okay, because the mixture, okay, of different liquids or different recipes is named as liquid A, or liquid B, or liquid C. Nobody knows in the line, nobody knows what liquid A is, liquid B is, or liquid C. And those who really know the recipe of Coca-Cola is very protected from disclosing the recipe to other people. Okay. Okay. So these are some of the leading licensors. Okay. Walt Disney, Meredith, Iconics, Warner Brothers, Hasbro, um, Universal Brand Development, Nickelodeon, Major League Baseball, okay, IMG College Licensing, okay, so and many others. Okay, I think um, your country has very good, very good licensor as well. Okay. So what are the main advantages and disadvantages of licensing? Okay. The advantages for the licensor: low investment. Okay. Low investment, low involvement, low effort. Once it has already been established, but before that you really need to work hard. Low cost initial entry strategy. Okay. It like what I've said, it is very near to what we say as a passive income. Okay, because other people will have to work for you because they use your they use your process, or they use your intellectual property. Okay. But the disadvantages for the licensor: performance depends on the foreign licensee. Okay. So if the foreign licensee is doing very well in their marketing or sales, then you will get a lot in your royalty. Okay. 2% from 100,000 and 2% from 2 million. 1 million is a different amount of money. Okay. So licensor has limited control over its assets abroad. Okay. So it's abroad, it is very difficult for them to manage, to oversee, okay, to control. Okay. Runs the risk of creating a future competitor, because licensing is only in a period of time. So let's say 20 years or 10 years. Okay. Then after 10 years, the licensee already know your secret. Okay. They can spin off and come up with something new, okay, that can rival you, okay, that can go against your product or your your uh, specialty, okay, your brand. So that's the disadvantages of licensor. Okay. Now, the second one is the franchising. Okay, so let's view a video, okay, about franchising. Okay, before that, yes, you have given very good ones. Uh, Auntie Anne's, yeah. Uh, Subway, Toyota, Lexus, Walmart. Toyota, Lexus, and also Walmart. Okay. Starbucks, yeah. 7-Eleven, Mary Brown, 99, yes. Tea Leaf, McDonald's, Disney, yeah. Tea Leaf actually has some problem. It has become a big issue. Tea Leaf and also Cha Time, okay. Because Tea Leaf actually a spin out from Cha Time, okay, and Cha Time has sued Tea Leaf for doing that, okay. Okay, now let's have a look at this video.